Well, China is maintaining that relations between Beijing and Washington are stabilising, and that's despite its claims of U.S. interference in its internal affairs. The comments come ahead of U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit this week. The American diplomat is expected to face some tough conversations amid increased tensions between the two sides. Beijing has accused the U.S. of malicious intent to curb China's development, following America's complaints about industrial overcapacity. It has accused Washington of economic coercion and bullying. Meanwhile, the head of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command has warned that Beijing is rapidly becoming more aggressive in the region. Admiral John Aquilino told reporters during a visit to Tokyo that the increase in China's defense spending is concerning, given that its economy is, quote, failing. Olivia Siong joins us live from Beijing with more. Ollie, this will be Mr. Blinken's first visit to China since last June. What's China hoping to focus on and achieve from these talks?
Well, even ahead of the visit, Jill, China is clearly keen to get its message out and to show that it is not going to back down, even as the U.S. has said that Mr. Blinken is going to pressure China on a range of issues, from Taiwan to Russia and human rights. But we heard from a Chinese foreign ministry official listing out 5 goals it says that China has for Mr. Blinken's visit, one of them being strengthening dialogue, China hitting back at what it says is, quote, the U.S. obsession of coercing its allies to form an anti-China clique. Another goal, it says, is for both sides to effectively manage their differences, raising the issue of Taiwan, mentioning that this, again, is its number one red line, as we are expecting Mr. Blinken to possibly voice support for the Self-Rule Island just about a month away from it inaugurating its new president, William Lai, whom Beijing has labeled a dangerous separatist. Also, as there's been increasing pressure on China by the U.S. over its industrial overcapacity, something that China has refuted. And in that statement, the Chinese Foreign Ministry official issued its strongest warning yet, saying that the so-called China overcapacity theory was a, quote, false narrative. And behind it, it says, is the, quote, evil intention of curbing and suppressing China's industrial development, calling it naked economic coercion and bullying. So definitely some tough talks ahead.
It makes it a little hard then to buy the narrative that relations really are stabilizing between the two sides. This espionage case, for example, just the latest at a series of issues that they're at odds at. Ollie, if you're hearing me, I'll ask again, are relations really stabilizing between the two sides?
Jill, yes, I hear you. And this is a big question, right? You know, overall, China and the U.S. are saying that things have improved. And if we were to compare that to, a year ago when both sides were not talking, ties seem to be in this downward spiral. Things have improved as we've seen a series of high-level exchanges. We saw a recent phone call by the two top leaders following their in-person meeting in San Francisco last year. We also saw the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen visiting China just a few weeks ago. But if you look beyond that and you look deeper into the issues that we're talking about here, it seems like nothing much has really changed. And the list of issues continues to get longer, including as there have been new conflicts emerging around the world. China clearly wanting to position itself as a major responsible global partner, especially versus the West, which it says is fanning the flames of tension. That Chinese Foreign Ministry official raising the issue of Gaza, it says that it will tell the U.S. to support a comprehensive ceasefire as soon as possible. And when it comes to Ukraine, it has refuted U.S. claims that it's supporting Russia's wartime economy. Have a listen.
美方一边出台大规模援助乌克兰法案，一边又对中俄正常的经贸往来进行无端指责，这种做法极其虚伪，也十分不负责任。中方对此坚决反对。
So it will be a delicate balance that China will have to strike, even though it is talking tough on these issues where there are differences. We also know that China would want to see good economic relations with the U.S., trying to woo foreign investment back to the country amid its fragile post-pandemic recovery. Jill?
Delicate balance indeed. Olivia Siong reporting from Beijing to us. Thank you.